All right, let's get this shit started. Hey everybody, how's it going? So I'm still talking here with Hanzo29. Still, it almost sounds like there's a problem or something. Not at all. No, it's good talk that we're having here, other than the little weird, delay in audio that kind of bothered me while we were talking. But otherwise, we still had a lot of good, meaty conversation about Warframe, about the developers, about the community. So we're talking about more about how the game keeps constantly changing and updating, the unfortunate thing about certain parts of the forum, people not having manners maybe when they should, players having had an actual effect on the game, and why exclusives are exclusive. All right, we're gonna roll right in with Hanzo talking about some shit.
I think the big picture for them is that they've been working on basically giving every planet in the system their own look, every boss in the game their own look, and that's part of that bigger picture that they're always working on. So that's part of the reason why I think that they're constantly moving forward, and I guess for them the game isn't complete. I mean, it's not near complete. There's all these things that they want to do with the game that haven't been done yet.
It's true. Yep, there's quite a lot of stuff, man. It's like between that, and that's honestly something I don't always think about, but they put those updates, the new tile sets out quite often enough. But you have that, you have the new content, as you said, you have new game modes that they've been working on too, like they're adding in new spy mission maps. There's actually quite a lot of new stuff that they have to work on, and I know that sometimes what can happen is it's like we'll be focusing, like for me, I focus on melee, so I'm like, oh, fuck stamina, but stamina might be tied to some values that it's like, Jesus Christ, I don't want to, I can't fix that problem now, so I'm gonna wait and fix these other ones. And then maybe we'll get back to it. I have hopes though, because they have a dedicated PvP team now. So
I think that's the unfortunate thing about the forum and the way this works is, unfortunately, I mean, if people are like, oh, they don't respond to my threads and they don't say anything, it's like, do you know how many people are on there writing those threads? I mean, how do they disseminate which problem is essential? Which thing, when you're getting millions of requests for different things, is how do you decide which one it is? And unfortunately, I think that means some of the things that get brought to the forum get sort of lost or deprioritized on top of people who are screaming louder or something.
Not only that, but there are those forum rats, is what I want to call them now, and that sounds terrible, but I think it's kind of true, where they're like 24/7, and they're just making these most negative posts about, like, well, I think it's wrong that you can't do this and blah blah blah, and I'm like, you're just making shit up now, right? You are so fucking bored. Are you practicing to be a politician later in life or something? What are you doing? Those people drive me mad, and I'm like, I would ban the shit out of them because they're bringing down the community. There's nothing wrong with objectively bringing up problems, but when you're constantly just putting a negative spin on every aspect that you can see, I think in their mind they're thinking, well, I can justify that by saying that I'm taking an analytical look at this, and so I want to bring up all the negatives. Yeah, but if we look at the collective amount of posts that you've done and exactly how you've done that, you need to shut up for about a month. You need to back off. You put about 150 negative posts this week alone.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that these guys are human. I mean, like most humans, they don't take negative feedback well. They probably take it personal if they're personally invested in this game. And I think if you approach something simply complaining about it and saying, oh, well, this is wrong and you've done a terrible job, naturally your reaction is to be defensive, and then naturally your answer is just to ignore the problem. And ignore the complaint and be like, okay, well, I'm just going to move on. So if you're going to have something to say, try to have a solution, an answer for it. Be polite. Like some people are like, I shouldn't have to be blah blah blah. Oh, okay, whatever. Have some manners.
Yeah. Good luck
but
in life,
it's like,
fucker.
I list things. Yeah, that's one of those things that's being lost these days. But when I write these threads, and I point out the bad things, I try to have solutions. Constructive feedback on how I think it could be fixed. I'm not just going to complain about it. I'm going to tell you what I think can be done.
Right. Oh, I was just going to say, what you're talking about right now is very common for people that have worked with other people on projects. You know, you don't just present a problem, you present potential solutions. And if you do present the problem, you don't, you know, but then again, we're also talking about, I don't know, it's a huge mix of age range and maturity level, and who's going to school, who's working, who's just hanging out at home. We get what we get.
Yeah, so I mean, there's been a lot of people like that I can see that just give negative feedback to the employees, and like I said, believe me, I get mad like everybody else. You know, there's a couple employees I probably curse on occasion, but you know, they're human beings,
Yeah.
so you can't just engage them negatively.
It's
Were
true.
you around for? I don't know if you were into the clans or anything, but were you around for the full clan members and veteran players got together and tried to set up this raid call channel where the employees could come in and talk to the veterans? Did you ever hear about this?
I wasn't, but then again, I'll tell you, I first started playing January 17th, 2013. So I mean, I've been around for a long time, but I don't always do a lot with, you know, the forums initially, or if I do, I'll go and I'll say something, and you know, I have a lot going on normally. So as time has gone on, I've invested more and more time in Warframe and my channel, even though it doesn't make any sense. I don't have the time. But you know, so
well, you do what you can, you know, it's stuff's fun.
Yeah, you know, and when I'm really into it, then I'm putting out more content. And when you know, I've got other shit going on, then, you know, I've got other things going on.
Well, here's I wasn't there for the entire thing, but so what I believe is what happened is that a lot of these veteran players got together in this channel and thought, okay, well, we're going to have Rebecca or this employee or that employee come in and talk to us. And I believe a lot of them got into this trash talking storm about the employees on the channel when Rebecca or one of the employees signed on.
Why would
and so they basically just shot that entire, I don't know. They basically shot that entire opportunity in the foot. And the funniest thing about it is that me and Bellum showed up to the meeting late. And so we kind of hopped in like, hey guys, what's going on?
Jesus
and it was just like
Christ.
Crickets.
Wow.
And that was that. I never heard anything out after that. So, yeah, I mean, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
They're people, you know what I mean? You got to have manners and you got to be polite. It's okay to have an issue with something in the game and to feel like maybe we have a voice that's important. I think that's one of the coolest things about this community is that players can, some people will argue with this, but players can feel like we do have some kind of push and pull, you know, with what goes on with the game. And we do. I mean, there are things that have been affected by player feedback in this game. But, you know, we all have to sort of respect each other to get that done properly.
Yeah, no, and I've posted that in the forums, like when I've seen some specifically vitriolic stuff from, a word that rhymes with the word that I'm not going to say. I'm going to say hate instead. It's really close to the forum name. And, you know, like this person would just like take a dump on people's suggestions. And I'm like, why are you here? Why are you doing this? These are, you know, players just giving their feedback. Or, you know, they would, other people, just new players, you could tell they were just trash talking D hard. And I'm like, do you understand that they're putting, you know, it's not just if they really didn't give a crap, this wouldn't be here for us. You know, there would be no forums. You would never see changes that occurred based on anything that we say. This is the only game I've ever played that I've had a direct effect on the outcome of the game. You know, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and that's why I think
So let's try and remind people of what that's like. Yeah, let's try and remind people of what that's like when you don't have much pull on the game. So, this is sort of a hot subject for me. I loved the Mass Effect games.
Oh, yeah.
Up until the last 5 minutes of the third game.
Oh, I see. See, I never played it. I played part 2 only.
Yeah. So the ending to that game was awful, and I won't go into a long rant about why.
I think
basically, I remember when the game came out, they started having a poll. Yeah, they had a poll in the forums for the game asking people how they felt about the ending.
Yeah.
And it was like, I can't remember the exact math, but it basically came down to 1 in 10,000 people thought that the ending was okay.
Holy shit. Wow.
1 in 10,000 people. Yeah, that's bad. Okay, and people were creating petitions and asking them to change the ending or divulge certain things, and EA just, to me, it seemed like they just ignored those requests. I mean, they put out DLC expanding on the ending. The ending was still the same, so it was this really big, just like, we don't care.
Yeah, I didn't even play the game.
The game is what it is. Deal with it.
It was such a huge fiasco. Yeah.
Yeah, and so an experience like that, I just flat out said, I'm not going to buy anything from you ever again. Right. You know what I mean? Like, they've already talked about, oh, well, there's another Mass Effect game coming. I was like, I don't care. I'm not getting it. Oh, Dragon Age. I don't care. I'm not getting it. I'm done with it. I'm not getting it.
And I liked the original Dragon Age, but I think Part 2 was the one
I haven't played that series, though.
Part 1 was great, man.
Yeah. Well, they seem to... From what I've heard, they seem to have an issue with endings. Like they just don't know how to close a game out properly. Yeah. But I'm thankful for the community that DE has set up. You know, it has its pains and it has its good positive parts. And I've been around for a long time. I don't know if you were part of the Founders Program. I was around for that. I signed up. I have the Excal Prime and the Scana Prime. I'm so glad they came out with that Scana Syndicate mod.
Oh God,
which works on the Scana Prime. Because for a while that weapon was not that good, and it felt like, well, I've got this ornament to look at. It's not much, but now it's kind of viable again. So I'm so glad that they did that.
Is there anything in your mind that makes you think that Founders items should be re-released? Because I'll see those threads pop up, and I'll hear, well, I don't need to be nice because it's my channel. I'll hear bitching and whining about something that people don't understand why, in my opinion, should never fucking be re-released. They just don't. It's like they just don't fucking get it. It's like, maybe if I cry enough, and that's what's scary, because, you know, even though players claim that Digital Extremes never does anything, you know, oh, whatever, they never listen to me, they will fucking totally do that.
Yeah, they do. No, I mean, that's how Brack and Veteran got put back into the game as something that was farmable, because these people were complaining. No, I agree with you. I don't think those things that are exclusive should remain that way. If you weren't around for it, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, that was the point of us donating the money to get that stuff, was we were around at the beginning of the game. We gave them our money and we gave them our support. Then that stuff is for us. And it's, to me, it's just like, look, there's going to be more exclusive stuff in this game down the road. There always is. So keep your eyes open and you'll get that stuff. Yeah. Man, I love that stuff too. That's I mean, every time there's the event, we compete fiercely in the events. We try to get trophies, but I'm always super stoked about getting those one-off weapons. I mean, any chance I can get to collect those things, I'm like, yes.
Yeah. It pains me that I don't have the Scana Prime or the Ladle Prime or the Sniper Vandal. You know, it pains me that I didn't buy the Excal Proto Skin, but I'm not out there bitching about it like a fucking bitch.
It's all right. I feel your pain because exactly.
Yeah.
Right. No, I mean, and I feel your pain. I mean, there's a Bratton Vandal and a Lato Vandal floating around that I don't have, and I would love to have, but I don't go on and complain and ask them to re-release it. That's tough. I am, however, waiting for the day that they allow people to trade built weapons, because I know a guy who has a Bratton Vandal and doesn't play anymore, and I'm like, when this happens, I am buying that thing from you.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yep. By the way,
I don't think they should waver to those demands. Don't do that.
I agree. I agree. By the way, I'm going to make you feel bad. I have the Bratton Vandal.
Oh, you have it?
Yes, I do. Man. But I don't have a lot of the other things.
Yeah.
So, you know, every once in a while, I'll pull it out. Like, yeah, what's up?
Yeah. So for those of you who complain that DE doesn't respond, let's explain something here. Okay. So Brack was one of those weapons that was supposed to be exclusive rewards for an event. Okay, and so many people complained and said, oh, well, I wanted the weapon, or I wanted the Detrin, and we lost and we didn't get it.
Right.
Okay, I understand. The Detrin probably would have been cycled back in as a reward for another event anyway, like they did with the Provo Vandal.
Right.
But anyway, so those weapons became farmable when they came out with the G3 and Sanuka. The double status element mods, those were exclusives too, and people were grumpy about that. So those were also put back in the game as something that was farmable. So don't say, oh, well, DE never responds to the stuff that we say, because they do. Totally those things have happened.
Yeah, they totally fucking do.
Those things have happened.
But it's that case of just it's just being bratty and immature, and just I don't know. And to the point to where I don't even talk about it much, because, and we're talking about it now because I don't talk about it much. I don't bring it up much because I think it's dumb. It's like, come on, just shut up. I don't, play the game or don't play the game.
Like, I just feel like just wait in line for the next thing. There's going to be another one. Just be patient and be there. And then when you have that weapon and it's exclusive to you, you're the one who's going to be able to look what I got. Cool. And then when somebody else starts complaining that they don't have it, those same people will be like, oh, shut up. It's exclusive. I was going to say, there's this old saying that I like, is that anytime you do anything with more than 2 people, there's bullshit.
Well, this is the Beard Bullets Bullcast. This is bullshit. I say even it just takes 2 people. Actually, I say it takes 1 person. I put it bullshit all the time.
Well, that's a different kind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like...
This is supposed to be friendly bullshitting. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you have to spice up the show a little bit, otherwise people won't listen.
Well, honestly, I wish that it was a persona that I was putting on. This is pretty much me. So... Jesus. Well. Yeah. Okay, that was pretty awesome. Having a great time with this conversation. I feel like I want to tweet some of these little sayings out there, but at the same time, I want to keep editing so I don't like slow myself down, so I can get this thing out tonight, for example, or any other night that I'm actually doing these. We got one more decent-sized conversation coming up, and that'll be the end of this series, and then we're gonna roll right into the next one with with the Gamertron show. All right, thanks for watching, listening, whatever the hell you're doing, consuming. Let me know what you all think, as usual. If you would, share this if you could, please. I don't see the series taking off or any of the other ones, so I'm not really sure that it's something that I need to be continuing. But if you do feel that you want to keep supporting this entire series, it'd really help if we could get some more people to listen. All right, thanks for watching, listening. Like I said, we'll see you next time.